will kill you, Connor. This I swear.
12 seconds later.
I'll burn that homestead of yours to the ground.
Have you ever tried completing Assassin's Creed 3 as a fellow Avenger? What, like Captain America? Oh, like Black Widow? What about Thor? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I wonder who it is. It's Hawkeye. Yay. So what does that mean for all 10 of you watching? Well, I can only use my bow and arrow, and I can't take damage. But I can use disarms, human shields, and throws. And if one of those throws leads to a double kill, then I'm allowing it. So what are you gonna do about it, huh? Nothing. That's what. Also, I'm not counting button prompts that lead to a kill. Whilst I'm getting tortured with Desmond's boring life story, I won't be playing as him. Look, calm down. The reason I won't be playing him is because he's scary. All of them are so scary. What happened to them? So I'll focus on Hatham and Connor. Oh, how are you going to kill people with a bow and arrow with Hatham if he doesn't have access to those? Well, shit, you got me. So stick around, baby, and find out. My story started off like any great horror story, watching Shrek Forever After in the cinema. Some guy was cheering. Why would you cheer a shit film? So I had to put him down. People were going crazy. Karen was demanding their money back. Security was arresting people. Men were crying over what they did to Shrek. I fled to America for some soul searching. And that's where I am now, having a fist fight. How do I overcome this challenge if I haven't got the tools to become the second worst Avenger next to Black Widow? Disarms, baby. But I was then faced with another horror story. Disarms won't kill them. It'll just do enough damage to put them on the last drop of health. So I broke my sacred rule. What am I gonna do? Cry and beg for forgiveness? Not today. I meet a guy cosplaying as Mr. Skinner from Hot Fuzz. He then tells me that the Snyder cut of Shrek Forever After is locked away in a fort. The plan to the heist of the century was to break in, steal the Snyder cut of Shrek Forever After, and go to the pub and wait for this whole thing to blow over. That's when another horror story happened. This would have been easy had they didn't have muskets, but these soy boys love their muskets. Sometimes I didn't even know they're shooting. All I can hear is the faint sound of a soy boy creaming. And bang, I reload checkpoint. On boxes, they shoot. Behind wagons, they shoot. I collect the Snyder cut of Shrek Forever After and go to the pub. My friend does some coke of women's boobs. But celebrating has come to an end. Our Shrek fan club is looking a little thin. We need to find another member. So who do we look for? Another horror story happened. Me and Charles were just walking when we heard noises coming from a cabin. We checked it out and a guy was about to be gang raped.
Maybe I'd fuck his cock.
Despite wanting to join in, this guy was perfect for a fan club. So I ran in and the guy gets yeeted. So I ran in again. Yeeted. You need to do this all stealthy. That means my rule gets broken. Do I cry and beg for forgiveness? So we have to get an audience to watch Shrek Forever After the Snyder cut. So we free some slaves, but I come across this little snack. She had me questioning my sexuality. Should I try the forbidden fruit of Pocahontas? Or should I try out Charles's delicious booty again? Again? I hear you crying out loud? Well, it was like a horror story like no other. I knocked on the door to see if Charles wanted to come out and play. There was no answer, so I knocked down the door and came across Charles, all bound up, ready to be taken like what Donkey did to Dragon.
Charles, sir?
But anyway, enough of that, because I'm freeing the slaves, and it's easy as ABC. But freeing these slaves weren't as easy as 1, 2, 3 anymore. There's a guy right there, and how do I overcome this without alerting them and becoming desynced? What do I do? What do I do? Okay, first get a hold of yourself, because I'm a friendly neighborhood Assassin's Creed challenge guy. You just need a whole ass and spam the free button. What comes next was another horror story like no other. I have to assassinate Silas. My friends were busy fighting off the Shrek Forever loyalists. I tried helping them out by banishing them to Shrek Swamp, but the loyalists were like Hydra, so I was forced to break my rule again. You know that snack I saw a long time ago? Well, not gonna lie, I'm simping over her pretty hard, and that's what I am now, searching for my temptress. A pack of wolves show up, and these aren't the gentle confused ones your mummy warns you about. You get locked into a QTE from the get-go, which uses a hidden blade. But if you reload checkpoint and hold that piece of cake that you call an ass, you can straight up avoid the QTE. The more you know. I take my girl out to a pub, and that's when another horror story happened. Just kidding, it's a Royal Rumble, baby. Wave 1 of the Royal Rumble was easy, because you could use the tables to throw them on. On wave 2, no amount of cake could sway these soy boys to stop attacking me, so I did what anyone does with a good pair of fists. I fisted them. Ain't that right, Charles?
Sir? Charles?
My rule had been broken. Charles's anal virginity was broken. The only thing that wasn't broken was me and Pocahontas' relationship, and that's what I am now, collecting some Shrek merch, under the radar to give to my beloved. But unfortunately, she wants more, like every woman in my life.
I don't trust you.
I know.
So I have to assassinate this guy. How the hell did I end up here, I hear you ask? Just don't think about it. But I'm in Shrek Swamp, and this guy offers me to a 1v1. I tried everything on this guy. Throw in, waiting for him to maybe kill himself, tried disarming him. I even tried banishing him to the Shadow Realm, but the guy just won't give in. But he does have a pretty good throwing arm. But this is my swamp, and just like that, I choked him out. Yeah, you like that, bitch? I'm gonna have some fun with you. Yeah, twerk on that dick, Hatham. But hey, at least I get to taste some of that forbidden fruit. No, not that, guys. Pocahontas is. But what about Charles, I hear you demand? Well, I straight up married him. Do you, Charles, take Hatham to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
And do you agree that Shrek Forever After is a terrible movie?
I do.
And that's when another horror story happened. I was back to being Desmond.
We could talk. Oh my God! What's wrong with your face? What's wrong with your face? What's wrong with your face?
And that is why I'm not playing as Desmond. But now I'm a young Connor, asking for a cuddle from an elderly man. Hey, I heard you could snuggle me.
No.
So whilst I'm trying to find more reasons to cuddle a 60-plus-year-old man, I'll recap on how I ended up in this mess. I played hide and seek with my friends. Charles played hide the sausage with me. My mother literally got burned alive in front of me.
Help me! I'm still alive, only I'm very badly burned.
I taught my overweight friend how to hunt. I smoked way too much devil's lettuce and started seeing some crazy shit. Which led me to this guy's house asking for a cuddle. And that's what I am now. So anyway, what are you afraid of? It's just two guys laying next to each other naked.
You think I'm afraid of anything? Least of all a self-important little scab like you?
But that night, evil white men broke in and demanded a cuddle. From me. No, I don't want a cuddle from you. Leave me alone.
Can't say we didn't warn ya.
So I had to fight them. But I'm Connor now, as you can tell. And that means I got access to my bow and arrow. But just one problem. I've got 5 arrows and 8 guys. The game only gives you 8 arrows. And my fat friend needed 3 of them to get food. 5 arrows, 8 guys. And how do I overcome this impossible challenge? Human shields and throws that lead to a kill. But it's not as easy as that. You need 2 guards to charge you at the same time. Thus, turning it into a threesome. Fortunately for me, these guys love to try and double penetrate a small child. But then another horror story started to happen like no other. I got knocked down. He was pointing at me. I wanted to say a joke about not pointing those big green sausage fingers at me, but I was too weak. But the old man saved me. I decide to ask him if he wants to be my boyfriend and make sure to put the pride flag on there so he knows my intentions.
Do you even know what that symbol represents? Or what it is you're asking for?
No.
I'm just a child. I don't know what I'm doing. We go into town so he can teach me what these symbols mean, but a protest is happening. The director of Shrek Forever After is here, and people are freaking out.
Not until you've answered for your crimes!
Wait, is that my dad? He's with the director of Shrek Forever After. Hold up, is my dad a Shrek Forever After fan? Nah, but I do have to assassinate this guy. I have access to the shops now, which means this run will be a little bit easier because I can buy arrows. But I've all grown up now. You haven't missed much, just a migrant trying to cross the English Channel. Bro, you're not even close. And being groomed by an old man. Also, just because I'm firing cannons and taking damage on this boat doesn't mean I'm breaking any rules. Since Connor isn't really firing anything, it's these guys. And Connor isn't really taking damage, the boat is. But yet another horror story happened like no other. I'm furious. I have never been so mad. It all started with me and Charles talking about how James Corden is a fat pussy. We heard knocking on the door. And when I opened it up, I couldn't believe what I saw. My chubby friend from earlier had just gone to the barbers and they give him a LeBron James fade. I need answers.
Do you know who is responsible?
He's called William Johnson.
And that's where I'm heading, into town to demand answers. William Johnson will pay for giving my friend a yee-ass haircut. I came across a Frenchman, and just like every other Frenchman, he hates the British. And to be honest, I hate the British too, so I'll help you, Frenchie. But then a tale as old as time happened.
It's on! Race war!
It all started with me asking Frenchie a question. Hey Frenchie, do you want to practice kissing again?
Who cares? I've been robbed!
Frenchie started to go insane. They took his Shrek memorabilia. Nobody steals Shrek merch. Oh, if you have 8 arrows and you're fighting men after men after men after men, how do you regain your arrows back? Well, all you gotta do is just yeet your arrows back off them. Frenchie got his revenge. And now, we gotta hit the British where it hurts. What do the British love the most? They love the Queen, they love complete idiots in charge of the whole country, they love protecting nonces, and they love tea. Wait, that's it. So the heist of the century was to storm in, throw their tea overboard, go to your local pub, and wait for this whole thing to blow over. But it's never that easy. These little soy boys cream themselves every time I get near. There's 2 sides to this heist. One side was easy. You could just throw the soy boys into the water. But the other side? Oh boy. Honestly, I fucking hated this side. Every 2 goddamn seconds they would fire that damn musket. I got shot so many times during this. So I had to run all the way back down to the docks and throw them back to whence they came. The musket lovers were still there. But because I thinned out the herd, it was easy as heck, boy. Now it's time to hurt them dirty British thick boys. To make sure my allies survived, I just focused all my energy on throwing tea overboard. Since I got like 7 arrows and a truck ton of Brits, my allies can fend them off whilst I make the British cry. I meet my friend with a yee ass haircut, and the barber who gave it to him is just over that mountain. I sneak in, climb the mountain, and I bet you're wondering, oh wow, that's a lot of men for someone with 8 arrows. And I would respond to you, you clearly don't know who you're talking to. I am the one who knocks. Right in the back of the head with an arrow. So I gotta find the next target, which means I have to alert everyone about the war, with some dead weight. Door to door, we tell them about our war, and most importantly, we tell them about our Lord and Saviour Jesus. Speaking of which, can we talk to you today about our Lord and Saviour Jesus? Oh shit! So anyway, we meet up with some guys wearing powdered wigs and get warned about the war. The war? I hear you ask? Yes, that's right, the war to end all wars. The war between the Shrek Forever fans and the Shrek Forever haters. And how do we do that? Well, I clap my cheeks back to the boys and then order them to kill the Shrek Forever fans. I'm not breaking any rules here, I'm just telling them what to do. And the battle was over, but war never changes. And that's why I'm here. I gotta break onto a boat, blow it up, fly the flag, and race back home. Now that was easy. The next part, however, had me in tears. I was a broken man. I gotta climb up the mountain to assassinate the leader whilst dodging the soy boys' musket fire. But climbing on the mountain led me to a grim discovery. A cluster truck of Brits and a glitch. So first, I try to throw them off the cliff's edge, but the big old thick boy here slaps my plan back down to reality. Second plan, target lost. I really don't know how that happened, because he's right there. Third plan, I needed to do this stealthy. So I sneaked past everyone, climbed a tree, and damn, this guy can take a headshot. So fourth plan was to do the same again and wait until there's hardly any guys around him, because if I shoot with his boys around him, they get involved, and with like 3 arrows to my name, it's impossible. Wait, 3 arrows? I just had 4, but that's the glitch. I figured out if you use arrows before triggering combat, the game will take them off you when you reload back. Why must you do this to me, Assassin's Creed 3? So back to the plan. I need to headshot him, lead him down the hill, and perform disarms till he's on about 1 drop of health, then fire him with an arrow. And that's when another horror story happened. It was going so well, until I shot the wrong guy! Bruh. And then I came back with 0 arrows. Bruh. This game is fucking ass. So I had to quit out to the memory, come back with arrows, and yeah, this guy did not stand a chance. Listen bro, I get it. You like Shrek Forever After fan theories, but it needs to stop.
There was so much to discuss, to explain.
So on to my next target, but then another horror story happened like no other. It was supposed to be a simple pump and dump, a nut and go. I just had to kill Thomas Hickey and bail. I caught him selling Shrek Forever After DVDs, so I chased him, but then got caught and thrown in jail. My bow and arrow was taken from me. I met Michael Schofield and he had a plan to break out of here on one condition: I break my rule. So I did his bidding, not even once, but twice. Me and Achilles are going through some problems right now. I caught him watching Shrek Forever After. He tried to tell me something so sacrilegious it hurt my soul.
Life is not a fairy tale, and there are no happy endings.
Shrek 1 taught me that happy endings do come true, so I decided to go soul searching and try to find my dad. But then he tried to ride me, but we come to an agreement. I'll watch Shrek Forever After if he spends some time with me. So what does a father and son do to bond? Fishing? Maybe teach me not to be a monotone little shit? No, we go on a killing spree. But then another horror story happened. It was going great. We both snuck in, eavesdropped, and then we started a fight. But then my daddy abandoned me.
You mean to just leave? Now?
He ditches my ass after he's killed about 5 to 6 guys, which leaves me with more guys than I got arrows. So I need to patiently wait for 2 guys to try and double penetrate me, perform a double kill, keep doing it until I got 5 guys left, and then Legolas my way out of this bitch. I come across my dad again, but I chose to forgive him. So we go on the hunt for Benjamin Church, the guy who got gang raped earlier.
Or maybe I'd fuck his cock.
And how do you do this without a bow and arrow? I hear you scream out loud. Well, fortunately for me, my dad is here, and he won't be leaving me this time. All you need to do is run in a circle super fast and wait for your dad to kill them. It can take a very long time. Me and my dad finally go fishing, and because my dad is white, he decides to do what white people do best. What? Commit suicide? No, kill other people. But again, I got no bow and arrow. So how do I kill these 3 officers on board? All you gotta do is just yeet them off. I come across my dad beating him down. And just to think, I came across Benjamin Church about to be stabbed by a dick, but yet he died by a prick. After watching Shrek Forever After, I'm starting to realise it was an okay movie, so I apologise to Achilles and meet back up with my dad for some bonding. Or should I say, killing a few British thick boys. But you can just stay back and let your dad do all the work.
Connor? Little help here?
So I go back home to pay a visit to my people, and then another horror story happened like no other. My chubby friend from earlier, the one with the LeBron James fade, decided to keep the LeBron James fade. I was furious, but then I found out he's got more of my people with the LeBron James fade. Why would someone want to have that fade? It doesn't make sense. So I'm tasked with killing my brothers, but they don't even fight back. Maybe they knew deep down that the LeBron James fade is horrible. Putting my chubby friend down was hard for me, but I knew the LeBron James fade trend had to be stopped. The Shrek Forever After War was still going on, and I was forced to use the cannon. I tried to just wait out the timer and do nothing, but I only make it to 2 minutes, so I was forced to break my rule and use the cannon. And now it was time for the heist of the century again. We destroy a few ships. Also, it doesn't count as a rule breakage, remember, since Connor isn't taking damage and firing the cannons. We light a beacon, have my allies to blow up the fort. I kill Charles and wait for this whole thing to blow over. Well, what could have been and what happened were the complete opposite. We destroyed the enemy boats, I sneaked in, lighted the beacon for my allies, but I got hit with shrapnel, and Charles wasn't there. It was my dad. I was forced to fight my dad. Good versus evil. Unfortunately, I don't have access to my bow and arrow, and I have no health meter, so I don't know if it hurts me or I'm just invincible. Fortunately though, you beat your dad the same way an alcoholic beats his wife, by throwing him into objects. My dad tries to ride me again, but I said no, I do not give consent. And just like that, the power of consent stopped him. Nah, but I just stabbed him. It was a button prompt, okay? Calm down. But it was time to kill Charles. But before I do, I make sure to have a breakfast. Because breakfasts are important to me, especially Cheerios and a slice of toast. But unfortunately, I do the most retarded thing ever. How retarded, you ask? Well, let's just say it would rival Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's level of retardation in thinking he's a good actor. You see, I could have shot Charles with an arrow from a distance, but I decided to walk in and get put to my knees, and then forced to kill a truck ton of men. And how do I do that without a bow and arrow? Well, you're probably thinking I'd say a throw that leads to a double kill, and I'd say you're goddamn right. But doing that would leave one guy left, and unfortunately, human shields were off the menu, because these soy boys don't like shooting. So what did I do? Okay, I ran halfway across the map, found a patch of water, and banished them all to another dimension. But there was another group of guys, and these guys were easy as heck, and human shields were back on the menu, boys. But it was a moment you'd all be waiting for. Me and Charles. Good versus evil. This whole segment is just a running simulator, so the challenge is pretty much done at this point, but I'll keep going. I chase him by the docks in an empty boat, and we both fall through some wood. And Charles does what any good villain does. He monologues far too much, which gives me just enough time to pull out my secret weapon, Charles and Haytham fan art. I then wake up, head my ass to the pub, but I ain't here to wait for this whole thing to blow over. I'm here to end Charles. Charles hands me some Pepsi in a Coca-Cola glass, but I don't give a damn. I straight up shanked him, and that's the end. So what have we learned today? Well, we learned that we can't beat Assassin's Creed 3 with just a bow and arrow. We can beat it without taking damage. And Connor is a petulant little man-child who doesn't understand how the world works. So if you liked the video, and you want to see some more cringy-ass content, then like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Adios.